Hello everybody, that's right, it's that time of the week in which you can just sit back, chill out and enjoy the show. This is of course the amazing and fantastic tarot show with the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day Nick Dutch, who's back on the camera again one more time just for you. The way that this particular show works, for anyone who has not been following recently, is first and foremost you make sure you are a subscriber. Then the next thing that you do is you send through a private message on this YouTube account, which is Nick Dutch Tarot. So the full web address would be youtube.com/user/Nick Dutch Tarot. Okay, send through a private message including your full request. Now it obviously helps if you can include like your first name and your date of birth. I don't do questions relating to pregnancy, medical matters, childbirth and the like. There's a few other minor issues that I don't tend to touch, but anything else is fair game basically. And we can just have a quick look and see basically what's coming through. I do not prime the readings. I have no idea what is waiting for me in the private messages section of the YouTube account. I'm going to go to it, tackle them one by one, and then basically you're going to see what I'm going to say. This is the closest you're going to get to live entertainment here on YouTube, because there's no planning, no preparation, no script, just one man, namely me, a couple of lights, and my YouTube account, and that's basically it, okay? So, without further ado, we'll crack straight on. Make sure you have subscribed, make sure you are following the show, because if you have sent through a request, what I'm not going to do is send you a private message to say, hey, I've done the reading for you, it's in the show, because I tackle a fair few on each and every single show. And if you want to catch yours, you've got to be a subscriber, you've got to watch the shows. That's all I'll say now. Okay, Chimp Angel, you've inquired about the possibility of getting yourself some accommodation with a hospital that you're working at. Okay, well, we'll have a quick look. We'll see what the wonderful tarot says. Okay, when you can't see my hands here and there's a question going, what I'm doing is I'm shuffling like mad. I'm making sure everything's nice and random and everything's okay. So we'll do a simple chronological spread to look at your housing situation to make sure you can move out of your sister's place and then start progressing further forward. Let's see what the Mystic Tarot's got to say for you today. Okay, well, we do have some interesting signs here, especially signs very strong on the healing side of things. So as far as your job in the hospital is concerned, do I think that that's going to be nice and constant for you? I do think so indeed. That's a very strong sensation that I'm getting when I'm looking at those signs talking about continuation. You're doing something right. Don't allow at the moment your concerns relating to the issues of your housing problem to stop you from working well. Okay, keep your mind on the job, keep yourself focused. The rest of the story is going to start falling into place. Now, there is a feeling of there being other people within the hospital environment who want to look after you and do well for you. Alright, so bear that in mind as well. You're not doing this completely in isolation. The sensations that I'm getting is that you are cared for and there is a desire to try and make sure you get to where you want to go. You are being perceived as someone who is well and truly a part of the community. Okay, you're an important person within your community, you're quite well respected. So there's more things there which is implying and suggesting that you are going to receive something positive from the place where you're working. It looks like if you applied for your hospital housing, you would actually get there. You would get something that would actually be good for you as well. So that does look positive. I don't see it happening immediately though. There's no real sense that those cards have given me, or indeed the feelings I've got have given me that yeah, it's going to happen straight away. It's almost like there's a waiting list type situation. So be aware of that, but do carry on applying for it anyway. Now it's a question of whether you want to move out very quickly or whether you want to wait patiently. If you waited patiently it would happen, but it might still be a long time. That much I will say. Okay, September Witch, you've got a very serious set of ideas going on there. First, you've got financial instability. Secondly, you're not sure if you're in the right job for yourself. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to survive. And also you're thinking about your life's purpose. Now let's have a quick look and see just what the reading says. I'll look very generally and see if we can pick up anything which is going to help you. I mean, there's so many things going on for you there. It's already rather hectic. So here we go. Right, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the cards in order so you get a feeling as to basically what's come through. That was the first card which came out, that was the last card which came out. Very short chronological spread, looking quite generally at your problems, the situation you're in the here and now. A lot of negativity, but also a sense that it's going to come to an end, alright? This feeling of like, this heavy weight you've got on your shoulders at the moment is not going to last forever. It's not really going to be in this state for basically forever. I would say that towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, you'll be able to look back and start laughing. There is a sense of great pride in yourself, alright, which you probably don't necessarily feel at the moment, but it's definitely there. This sense of you are someone who has a purpose. Okay, you're asking me what your purpose is, but the reading's saying that you have it. But you've got to go through something in the here and now to help you to basically get to where you want to go. There is something very much of a desire to help other people, which is coming through in this reading for you as well, I think. Okay, this is the second reading of today. It's also got some kind of healing messages associated with it, and you've got much more in terms of stability of character than you think. Also, I'll point out very quickly, the Four of Coins is another financial card, and it does talk about increasing financial stability as the year starts moving further forward, as the year turns, so to speak. But, and this is where things start to get interesting, it won't be until probably the fall, the autumn of this year when you'll be in a position to actually have a feeling of new beginnings and things starting to move in the right direction. You've got a bit more to go through prior to actually being able to be stable, safe, and doing the next right thing. And that's when we've got the wonderful Six of Swords, when you can actually do some planning and preparation for something else. Why has it turned up reversed in this spread? Think a minute. It's not a card which deals with success, it's a card which deals with about to reach success as a result of planning and preparation. There must be a reason why these have come through towards the end of the spread itself, okay? There has to be a reason for that. And that's because during this time you are able to contemplate where you want to go with your life. You do have a life's purpose. To a certain extent, I think it's a lot more mundane than you think it is. But the purpose is definitely there. Further on down the line, even more interesting there for you. So I turned over that card next just to see what else will be coming through. A sense of satisfaction, self-actualization, being in the right place at the right time, and also being able to give back to other people. You are an individual who would like to be more philanthropic, and I feel that you can get there. Alright? You're not there yet. The message of the reading is you will be there. You will know why you are here, what you're about, and there's also a desire to try and help others associated with the message of this reading. When I look back over my life and the hard times that I've been through, and I look at what I do at the moment for other people, I do ask myself whether I would be quite as good at doing the work I'm doing now if I hadn't been through quite so much schoolroom of life type training beforehand. And maybe that's the message I have to give you today. Steely Tara 01. It's great of you to give me a message. You've got some difficult times going on in your relationship at the moment. The relationship's been going on for 8 years, so obviously quite a good foundation there. Let's move on to the famous, or soon to be famous one day, 8-card relationship tarot reading. As is traditional, I am shuffling like a complete lunatic. But even when I do this, okay, shuffling, cutting, I occasionally get some repeated signs coming through. Now, there can only be one reason for that, and that's because they're meant to come through, because this is what the reading is trying to tell me today. I don't prime the readings, I don't choose the cards as they come through. You get basically whatever comes out. And that's a good way of doing this particular show, in my humble opinion. Okay, yeah, okay. First and foremost, on your side of the reading, it almost feels like you are trying to provide some separation between yourself and him, because there's almost a sense of something threatening or confusing coming from his behavior. You need to defend yourself. The Hermit card speaks of you being alone with your responsibilities, you being separated from situation, trying to basically do what you have to look after yourself. So it's almost like trying to, take everybody. I just got this image of Halloween in some certain countries, and on that day, all of the shops close up, not because it's a public holiday, but because people are afraid of the spirits on the streets. Now, I don't think you're afraid of spirits. I think you're afraid of his spirit, namely his mentality and the way that he can be. On his side of the reading, very strange indeed, because he wants to be authoritative, he wants to be in control, he wants to have the power. A lot of the things which he thinks he's doing, is there to be good for you and good for the relationship. But I don't think that he's taking that into account, because there's also a selfishness aspect associated with this. And also, you've seen this one before in previous readings, haven't you? He's not very good at doing the next right thing, even though he knows deep down inside what it is. So he's in a very confused situation as a human being is concerned. But the relationship itself still has other merits in it. There's still something good which you're both getting from each other during this particular time, even though it's hard, even though things aren't quite working out according to plan. There is still love there. So you've still got the foundation, you've still got common experiences. He wants to change the direction of the relationship bit by bit. You want to protect yourself from his negativity. He's not dealing with his negativity properly. But what's going to happen next? Short-term, mid-term and long-term future. Boom. Short-term future, you've got more difficulties ahead. Slight touch of resentment, a feeling of bitterness, anxiety, you being defensive, and you slowly reaching a position of authority in the relationship itself. Maybe putting your foot down, saying, this is okay, that's okay, but I'm not having that. Alright, just putting your foot down so that he knows that there's some things that you care for and that you need to look after. Following that, strong signs of desire to keep the relationship going, desires to make sure there is future prosperity and future development. And finally, the High Priestess. We had that come out in the previous spread, yes, I know. But the High Priestess is talking about community, cohesion, togetherness, understanding, moving forward. It's the second card of the Major Arcana. It's talking about the next step forward. So, yes, you are in a bit of a crisis situation at the moment. It's not going to last forever. You are going to stay together. He will start dealing with his issues so long as you can point out just some of, not all of, but some of the things which he's doing wrong, which you want him to start putting into perspective so you can actually have the longer term future. And I believe very strongly that you can do it. We've got a red card here. And that can talk about a touch of passion, anger, determination. But also a desire to take a ruined situation and turn it around. Hey Shika! You've hit a bit of a loggerheads with your relationship and it's all really rather difficult. Okay. We all do it, don't we? When you're in a real relationship, something can go wrong, you can say something wrong, you can do something wrong, which, something inside you said was right, but hey presto, no it wasn't. And it's only afterwards you suddenly realise, oh my word, what was wrong with me at the time? And because you said or did that thing, it can upset the relationship badly. And I've been there too. I'm just a human being as well, okay? We're all just growing in the schoolroom of life. Alright? So I know what you're talking about there. So let's see what the reading says about that. Again, shuffling like a lunatic. Whatever comes through will come through. Standard 8 card relationship reading. Here we go. Right. Okay. It's not all that bad. But bloody hell it is difficult. Energy and the forces between the two of you. You know how I do my 8 card relationship readings? 2 for you, 2 for your partner, 1 for the force between the two of you defining the relationship and then progression into the future. Force between the two of you is change, not destruction. It's more a question of him being indignant and stopping progress from happening because he wants everything to start going his way because he feels hurt. The Prudence card. He's playing a waiting game. And he wants to make sure that you're going to go through sufficient change, which you would have to prove by action. He still has desires for you. There's still something romantic going on there. But he's concerned about what it is that you've done that says something about you and your character. But you and I know that you're trying to change that, and you're trying to think in a much better and more human way, because you know you've done something wrong. Have you yourself thought about demonstrating the desire to change to him? Find yourself some counselling and dedicate yourself to that for a few months. Okay, once a week maybe. Not necessarily because it will do you some good or it won't do you some good, but because it will demonstrate to him that you want to change, that you want to basically get better, and you want to turn this sense of change into something which is good for both of you, so his positive desires towards you can all work out according to plan. Your side of the reading, very strong. So we've got signs of change for the force between the two of you, signs of new beginnings on your side of things. You want to make a fresh start. And also, you also have a lot of love for him. And there's a great feeling of satisfaction you've got when you think about him. You probably feel his energy when he's not around, that sort of thing. Right. Progress into the future, still a bit rocky during a short term, hard work needing to be done. Dedication, communication, time together. But more love signs are there, and also signs of fun. In about 6 months' time, I believe it is strongly possible that you'll both be able to put the past behind you and start moving further forward. No, I don't think you've ruined this, but I think you've got a lot of work to do to bring it back on track. But I also feel you've got the strength of wisdom and strength of character to be able to do it. But I do strongly advise that you demonstrate to him in a visible way, namely through getting counselling or organising counselling, that you are capable of change and you want change to happen. So using those 3 all-important words, I was wrong, is essential for you right now. Bastet 674. You know I like cats, don't you? Alright, here we go. You want to find out whether you'll be living in Hawaii and becoming a surfer. Well, I'm perfectly happy to do your question for you. I think it's a bit of an eccentric one, but never mind. All I can do is tell you what the reading says. I can't do nothing more, nothing less. So here we go, shuffling like a lunatic one more time. Right. Now, I suppose we're looking out for water signs, aren't we? Water signs, or something which provides a feeling of effort and exhilaration and a sense of movement and change. So essentially maybe the Chariot, maybe the Forest Staves, that sort of thing. Okay, well, I suppose the message of the reading is it's not quite happening for you just yet. The sensation here is that you need to work on some other skills there. I mean, this is what the Hierophant is really trying to communicate to me. It's not only a sign which is ecclesiastical, it's also to do with wisdom, knowledge, learning, growth. In the old days, the only schools that ever existed were in churches and monasteries. Right, but you will be able to somehow take any negativity and turn it the other way around, so you'll be able to get somewhere. There is a water reference there. You're going to be able to carry on with your interest. Would it be in Hawaii? I'm not sure. I mean, it might just be Western California, you know. Right, well, what are we doing after that? Center trying to take more control, trying to bring about your goal, but again, slow progress. Now, the 7 of Cups there, it's reiterating the message of the Hierophant. Speaking about slow progress, but still getting there. You've got some willpower inside you. I think that to a certain extent there may be a bit of resentment inside you because you won't be able to quite complete your goal the way you envisage it in the here and now, but you're still going to be able to get pretty close to it. So when you are there, be grateful for what you have achieved and for what you do have. Okay, Gail in Texas. Let's have a quick look and see what the reading says for you today. So currently you're doing screenwriting, you think that's a really cool thing to do, but you're currently sleeping on somebody's floor at the moment. There's all kinds of psychological complexities about that. You really want to get some more progress going, oh dear, you know, you've really got yourself a difficult situation. You're trying to get out of it though. This is what's really wonderful. Okay, you're actually trying. You know, you've got the mentality straight. You want to get the progress that you know you feel you're due. Let's see basically what the reading says about this and about moving over to like the West Coast and all the rest of that stuff. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear. Eventual success, I feel, is coming through very good for you. You also do tarot yourself. I don't have to tell you too much about what the Chariot card means. A sense of victory as a result of struggle and strife. You're going through the struggle and strife at the moment. The signs for the here and now. It's your spiritual identity, working out who you are and what you are. You're saying that you're going through a spiritual transition at the moment. I think it's a question of working out what you actually think. And I don't think it is just spiritual, is it? It's also psychological, emotional. There's a physical aspect there in terms of how can I make something really, really good happen. You know that time has got to take time, but you're also feeling impatient inside yourself. Deal with the impatience already, okay? That's something which you just got to put aside. You've got some goals there. I think you also need to have some other writing assignments in the meantime, just so that you can start bringing in the bread and butter and start bringing together the money you need to be able to get your ass to California. But yes, there is this strong sensation of potential success. Victory signs, okay? Victory means that you're fighting in a battle, you'll get the right results. Then the second half of the reading, this is talking about a bit of a different message, okay? Because a lot of these signs, it's to do with happiness. Now, we've had victory signs at the end of the first half of the spread. Now, at the end of the second half of the spread, we've got valor signs, which is essentially talking about you being able to, you know, have the bragging rights and say, I achieved this. Now, you can only think that once you've actually achieved something. Alright, it makes sense. You have your victory. This is not immediate because you know that time has got to take time, as well as you going through an important sense of who am I, what am I really about, what do I really think, what do I really feel. Couple of years maybe, okay, before you're fully sorted out. But you also need something else to bring in some money to help you to get to your goal and get other people knowing about the fact that you are someone who does stuff, okay. Then you've got your wonderful victory. You're going to get the opportunity to go to California. I'm seeing a time frame of about 2 years. And that's not too long if you consider how big this project, which you're all working on, actually is for you. The progression here is once you're there, okay, we've got a childlike sense of happiness and joy coming out very strongly with the Fool card. More signs of happiness, you know, re-echoing the message of the Fool card there. And also the Sun card deals with money as well. So you are in a pit, you're trying to build up a new brand of who you are, what you do, how you do it, getting everybody or as many people as you can aware of that. Do lots of stuff on the internet like I'm doing right now so people know about you and know about what, you know, what it is you like doing, what you write, the quality of stuff that you do, the style of writing you do, and then eventually you'll be able to turn around to people and say, you know, I'm just getting this this vision of you, like on a chat show, being able to talk about the secret of your success and how you managed to get there. But that's like decades down the line from now. That's not in the here and now. That's like long-term future. You know, that's like the big, out there, man. You know what I mean? So just, again, one step at a time, just to make sure you can get there. All right? As I said before, you know time has got to take time. This is big, it's not going to happen overnight. We all want all the changes in our life to happen by tea time yesterday, but it's not like that. So, you have to do it in stages, okay? And just try and do each and every single day to the best of your ability so that you can then have one step further forward to your goals on the next day. Okay? Okay, Kangufu, very short question about money to see whether things can work out okay for you. Okay, here we go. It feels like something big is around the corner for you, yes. Sense of celebration, sense of happiness. It's not a question of luck, it's a question of a lot of fun to find out. There's something entrepreneurial about you. You want to be able to fight to try and get certain forms of results, and you're going to be able to get there. Stability in the future and peace is more or less assured, but one step at a time, that as well. Okay, Mrs. Chocolate Sprinkle. I just love these YouTube channel names, full of like comedy and zest for life. You know, it just really expresses something about, you know, your nature, the fact that you can come out with these things. And my channel is just called Nick Dutch Tarot. But on the other hand, you know, I could have had something much more amusing, much more comedic maybe, but I just chose Nick Dutch Tarot. Anyway, I'm waffling now whilst I'm shuffling. Well, let's have a quick look and see basically what's coming through for you today in terms of love. Okay. Change of fortune and direction, but it's all on the basis of what you are already. It's not like, boom, a complete flip or transformation of your personality and mentality. Something good is going to happen for you in the medium-term future, 2 to 4 months down the line from now, roughly speaking. That is a pessimistic time frame. It's not an actual short-term one. You know, sort of pinpoint sharp, like laser pointer type accuracy time frame. It's just like, it's going to happen for you. It's not too far away. We've got strong love signs. Echo twice within the reading with a good feeling of being satisfied with what you've been given. And basically, you know, if you're worried about that side of things, then basically some satisfaction is going to come your way, okay? So, hot. Progression. More learning to be done, and definitely overcoming defeat. The nature of this character hasn't come through in this reading. The person he'll be with in your next big relationship. There must be a message there to do with like choose wisely or something like that. So you may have more than one option. Anyway, those are the readings for today. I've got one more left in the backlog. So Love Puppy, I'll be getting onto your reading as the first one of the next show. Everybody out there, keep your requests coming in. No questions about pregnancy, childbirth or medical matters at all under any circumstances. Alright? Nearly anything else is game, apart from a few things I don't feel too good about. No questions which are one line in duration anymore. No more general readings because I'm getting bored with them. And basically, you know, people want to know about things. Okay, people who are watching this, they want to know about like a situation in someone's life and so on and so forth. And on top of that, as far as someone who is a reader and actually wants to be able to help people with like specific issues in their lives, it does me good. Especially the fact I'm giving you this stuff for free on this channel, okay? For me to be able to deal with like some specific issues you're suffering from, you're struggling with, things you want to be able to understand better, a little reading you want to use as part of the creative process of trying to find out basically what's going on, okay? It's part of your thinking process to get there. You can just sit back and just take it that way. Now, I always say this, and the reason I always say this is because it's true. A tarot reading is an entertainment service. It has to be seen in that rational light. Alright? Because you, no matter who you are, where you are, what you are, how old you are, how young you are, wherever you are in the world, how rich you are, poor you are, whatever, you are the one who makes all the final decisions in your life. Not me, not the cards, not the guides. So bear that in mind too. This is a performance art. I'm pretty damn good at it. And on top of that, people use the readings to be able to, you know, deal with issues, help them with their life, understand things a little better, and so on and so forth. And lots of people claim to get a great deal of therapeutic benefit from the readings that they buy or that they get. I'm available for commercial readings for West Coast time between the hours of 4 a.m. and 9 a.m. Okay, so you can have a reading with me with your, you know, cup of coffee first thing in the morning. And for East Coast time between 7 a.m. and 12 a.m. and UK time between midday and 5 p.m. via keen.com and LivePerson. Links to my websites and all the rest of it below. I'm thinking about getting a book written about tarot at some point, but we'll leave that on the back burner until then. I'm still raising money for my off-grid project because I want to live in a totally environmental manner, and if you want to help support that, there's a link in which you can do that as well. And I will be delighted to be able to help you with the next set of readings. Keep your requests coming in. This has been the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch. And we'll speak again very, very soon.